It's your birthday coming up soon, or you've been looking for a way to learn how to make amazing birthday flyer designs, then this video is for you. Because in this video, I'll be taking you through the step-by-step method, processes which you need in order to become a professional graphic designer. So if this looks like one of the things you would like to learn, because this video, it will be detailed in the sense that you will learn very easy and fast. So if this is what you would like to be part of, then stay with me, turn on your laptop, and let's get started. And don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. When you subscribe to my channel, it will give me the courage, the strength to push more, to make amazing videos like this. When you subscribe, okay, it will give me the courage to keep making beautiful and amazing, well detailed videos. So hit on that subscription button, and don't forget to like, share, and ask me any question if there is anything you don't understand. Thank you. For us to design this birthday flyer, the first thing we are going to do is to click on create for us to create our workspace. Then we will make our width to be 1080, our height 1080, then in pixels. Resolution will be 300 and the color mode will be RGB color. Then you click on create. Now you've clicked on create, it has brought out our workspace. So the next thing we are going to do is to bring in our background. So we'll click here, we'll go and get our background from wherever we save it. So this is the particular background. This is the particular background that we are going to be using. So you click on it, you click and hold and drag it to your Photoshop, and this is it. It will just come here. So now I want it to cover the whole of this place, but there is a way I want to do it. So I will just click on the background here, click on this particular layer, then I'll come here, click on gradients, then I'll click here, I will select this. Let's make use of this particular one. No, let's make use of this. Then I'll click here, then I will select the darkest shade of this particular color. Yeah, I think this shade is okay. Then I'll click on the green part, click here, then I will select the lightest shade. Let's use this, the lightest shade. Then I'll click on OK. Then I'll click on OK. The next thing to do here is to click on reverse. I want it to click on reverse. Then you click on here and you select radical. I want it to be radical. And we're going to be changing few things here. You click here for radical, then you come here, let's increase it a bit. You can come here, let's increase it to about 166. Yeah, 166 is okay. Then you click on OK. Then I'm going to import in another thing. So I will just click here and go and get it wherever I save it. So this is the image I want to use. I'll click on it and drag it to my Photoshop. I'll bring it here. Then I'm going to make it bigger. I want it to be big. I want it to cover the whole of here. It's okay like this. Then you come to this place and click here. Then you look for soft light. Once you click on soft light, we are going to change just a few things there. We are going to come here, but make sure you click here. Then you come to this place and reduce the fill. The fill, you will make it, let's say about 50 something will not be bad. I think this is okay. So now the next thing we are going to do is I want this particular image to rhyme with this background. So because of that, I'll come to this place and give it a clipping mask. Click here, then I'll go to my, but before you go, you select your brush tool. Make sure that here is black. Then you come click on your brush tool and select the brush tool. You come to this place and set it to anyhow you want it. You see? But make sure that you don't bring it. You can make it any size. Let me go back so that you understand. Make sure that the settings here, that the hardness is 0. Then you can make here around 190 is okay. So you come to this place, make sure that it's not close to it because I don't want it to affect it. I just want the line there not to show, that's all. So you see what I did, and the line blended with the background. I'll come to the down part and still do the same thing. I'll come to the down part, still do the same thing that I did there. With that way, we've blended everything together. So the next thing we are going to do now is to bring in our image. So the image I'm going to use, I'll click here, I'll go and look for the image I want to use. So this is the image I want to use, image of my favorite, one of my favorite celebrities, which is Papaya Extra. We'll click on the image, we'll bring it, we'll drag it to our Photoshop, bring it here, then you click here. So I'm going to show you how you can remove this particular background now. For you to remove it, you come here, make sure that you are selecting the image, make sure that it's the image that you are selecting, then you click here, you click on this magic wood tool. When you select it, you come here, you click select object, select subject. When you click on it, it might take a bit time to load. Okay, don't get scared, it's loading. Now it has finished loading. What you do is to click Ctrl J. So once you click Ctrl J, it will duplicate it. Then you click on the down one. Remember, this is where it is. Then you click on the down one and delete the down part. You see what happened? So now we've deleted it. You select the image again and then click here. But as you can see, the image has a transparent and is also showing. So for me to remove that, I'll just come here, select my rectangular max tool, and I'll just select it this way and remove this, and I'll click on delete. Then I'll click Ctrl D to deselect, and we have our image. So this is the image I want to use, but I don't want her to be this small, so I'm going to make it bigger. I'm still going to, anyway, let me still select this and cut some parts of her leg, since I'm still going to not use them. Click on delete, then you click your Ctrl D to deselect it. So this is her. I want her to be bigger. So now let's use our rule. The reason why I like using my rule is to make sure I don't cross the boundary that I want to make use of. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to draw a triangle here. So for us to draw a triangle now, I want to also bring in another ruler here so that it will help us, so that we'll not make any mistake. I'll just come here, bring my ruler, so now I have my rulers. So now I've brought my ruler here. So this is the ruler that I've placed my ruler the way I want the triangle, I'm calling it triangle, the triangle to be. So I'll just click here, select the triangular tool. This is the rectangular tool, is rectangle. I'll select the rectangular tool, then I'll come here and I will draw my rectangle. So this is the color, and I'll come here. I don't want it to have that sharp edge, so I think this is now okay. The next thing I want to do now is I don't want her legs to be showing, so I'll just select the image, give it a clipping mask, and select my brush tool. Remember I told you that hair has to be black. Then I'm going to use my brush tool to go through it. So let me increase the size. So this is it now. I've removed it. So let's go back to this one. So this now, I don't want it to have like exact black. I don't want it to have exactly black. So we can use anything. You can use just only black on yours, depending on what you want to achieve. So because of that, let me reduce the black. So let me reduce the black. I don't want it to be that kind, to be too dark. You understand what I mean? So I'll just click on OK. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to right click on it. When you right click, it's either you right click or you double click on the layer here. This is the rectangular layer. So this is it. I'll come here, I'll select this. Let me cancel it because there are so many ways you can do this. You can either right click and go and select blending options. It will bring out this, or another way you can do it is to double click on it and it will bring out here. Then you select any of them you want to make use of. So let's go into it. So I want to reduce the size. I'll come here. I want to change the color. Let me change the color to something like this. Something like this. This is better. I'll click on OK. So I also want to give it a kind of drop down shadow. So I'll click on drop down shadow and I'll give it my settings. This is how I think it's okay this way. Let me see how the opacity will look like. So let's reduce here. Let's reduce here. So I'll click on OK. The color I use for the drop down shadow is black, so I'll just click on OK. So that is it for this one. Now the next thing I'm going to do now is I want to add some other things to the background. I've not really gotten exactly what I want in the background, so I will just come here, but make sure you are selecting. This is where you should select. This is where the one you should select, so that it will just be above it. Then I'll come here. I'll go and bring in the stuffs I want to put. So this is the particular image I want to bring in. I'll click on it and drag it to my Photoshop. So here is it on my Photoshop. I'll bring it in. You see what happened now. Did you notice anything? I brought in something. Okay, so this is it now. It's looking so beautiful. So the next thing we are going to be doing now is to remove this. So for us to remove this, because I don't like it here, I'm going to put some right up here, so I won't be needing it here. So I'll just right click on it, on the layer, resize the layer. Then I'll select this particular tool, which is there are so many tools you can use for it, but let's just use this polygon lasso tool. You select it, you just come here, you use it to select this particular drink bottle, this bottle round. Then you click on delete, you click Ctrl D. After deleting, you click Ctrl D to deselect. So that is just what we did there. So the next thing to do now is to put in our write-up. So you come and select this, because it's on top of this that I'll be putting the write-up. So I'll click on my text tool, click here, and I will type. So now I've typed happy. Make sure the name of the font we are using for that is Montserrat, and it's the bold type of Montserrat. That is what we are using. And let me change the size. Let me increase the size to about 45, and let me come here and make it -10. So 45 here. So let me change the color to white. Let me use pure white. I'll select here. I'll click on OK. You bring it in here. So I want it to be at the middle of this rectangle. So because of that, I will just hold my shift key, select happy, and also select the rectangular here, and I'll click on this so that I can align it. So that is that. The next thing we are going to do now is to I taught you how you can put your blending options. Is either you right click on it or you double click. So I'm just going to double click. When you double click, it will bring out this. You come here, you click on B level, and then we are going to change some things there. So when setting yours up, make sure that here is down and here is about 2. No, I think this is much. Let's make it about 270. Okay, 272 is okay. Then let's make here 90 something. And what else do we need to change? Make sure that don't smooth it. See what is going to happen if you try making it smooth. So we don't want it to be smooth. Don't smooth it. So your smooth is going to be 0. It's going to be 0. Then here, let's change it back to white. Click on OK. I think that will be all for this. So you come to drop down shadow. You click on drop down shadow. And when you come to drop down shadow, you make sure that here should be like, I think about -32. And here, let's reduce the drop down shadow a bit to, this is okay. Yep. So, and remember it's black we're using. You click on OK. You saw what the test effect did. Okay, so the next thing we are going to be doing now, next thing we'll do now is to type birthday. For you to type your birthday, you come here, you click on your text tool, you click here, then you type. So now I've finished typing. So remember that we are going to change font. The name of the font we are going to use for this birthday is called Great Vibes. You click on your Great Vibes. When you click on Great Vibe, then you make sure that, let's reduce it to around 40. 40 is okay. So let's also change the color. Let me change the color to something yellowish. Yep, I think this is better. Okay, so here is going to be 0. Let's make it 0 because I don't want it to be gathered together. So that is it here. And the next thing we are going to do to it now is to, you come here, let's bring it a bit up. Let's bring it to somewhere here. Yep, I think this is okay. Then you double click on it in order to add the blending option. So you come here, you select, remember we've already set it up the way we want, so you just select this and select the drop down shadow. But we are going to work on this particular drop down shadow because it's bigger than it. As you can see, it's showing much, so we are going to reduce it. We are going to reduce the size. I think this 4 is okay. Or what do you think? Tell me what you think at the comment section. So let's click on OK. And there is something we are going to do because I don't really like the color like this. So what I'll do now is to make sure that I'm selecting this happy birthday. Then I'll click on my, because I want to give it a shining effect, something a kind of golden color but a bit shining. So I'll come here, click here, I'll go and select. I already have it. You can download it from the internet. I will also drop it at the description so that in case if you want to recreate something like this, you just click on it, then you drag it to your Photoshop, you bring it here. But one mistake you should not make is make sure that it's above the text, directly above the text. Then you reduce it. If the text is big, you increase the size, but in this case we have just small text, so you just bring it here. Then you right click on it and then go to create a clipping mask. You click on create a clipping mask. You saw the magic. Did you notice any difference? Did you notice any difference? So that is why I used it. Okay, so the next thing I will do now is, let me deselect this, and I want this to be at the middle. So because I want it to be at the middle, I want it to be at the middle. What I'm going to do now is to click Ctrl A, then I'll click here, then I'll click Ctrl D to deselect, then I will reactivate this. So what next? So the next thing that we are to do is to write the name of the celebrant. But before we do that, I would like us to add some star here, because she's a star. So we need to add some star before the name, okay? So for us to do that, you just come here. Let me just come here, then you click here. You go and select your star wherever you save it on your laptop. As for me, I save all my stuffs under documents, so I'll just click on the star. I'll drag it to my Photoshop, bring it up here. So I'll click here. Then for me to remove the background, I'll click on the magical tool. I'll select subjects, and the magic will happen. Once it's done loading, the background will be out. I'll just click my Ctrl J. When you click the Ctrl J, it will just duplicate it. Then you delete the down one. Watch it. I'm going to show you now for those that don't understand. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to click Ctrl J. Ctrl J. It has duplicated it for me. I'll just come and click in the down one. It's two here. It's the down one that I'll click on. That is the main image. I'll click on delete. You see, it has gone out. The background has gone out. So I will just reduce the size here. I really want it to be small, like small. So I've reduced the size. Or do you think this size is too small? But I don't think so. This size is still okay. It's still very much okay. So let me double click on it. I want to give it a drop down shadow. This is a drop down shadow. Let me reduce the shadow. It's too much for it. So I'll click on OK. So I want it to be like a kind of 5. So I will just click Ctrl J into 5, 3, 4, 5. So I'll just shift them, hold my shift key and shift each and every one of them. The reason why I deselected that is because it's distracting me. So once I'm done placing these 5 stars, I will activate them back. The reason why I'm using my shift key is because I don't want it to scatter in the line. I just want something fast. Okay, so now we've arranged it. We'll go back and select our text and activate our text back. So this and this, they are back. The next thing we are going to do is to type the name. So you click on your text tool and type the name of the celebrant, which is Papaya Extra. She's one of my favorite she's actually one of my favorite celebrities. So I'm going to type. So I'm going to change the font to Montserrat. Montserrat. Let's reduce the size. So let me come here. I'll change it to semi bold. I don't want it to be too bold, so let's just use semi bold. And we are going to make it, let's reduce it to 10. Whatness to 10, and no, let's make it 0. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to give it color. I want it to be black, so I'll just click here and select black, and it's black. And so I want to bring it a bit up. Control A, so that I can make sure that it's in the center. Control D to deselect. Then I will right click on it, double click on it, or right click on it, anyone. So I'll come here, I'll give it a stroke. I want it to have a white stroke. A white stroke. So this is it. It has a white stroke now. So we are going to give it a drop down shadow. So remember, I only gave it a drop down shadow. I'll click on OK. So the next thing now is to put in the dates, the date of the birthday. But before we do that, let's quickly put a write up for her, wishing her a good birthday, happy birthday, you know. So let's just click here, click on test 2, and we'll type. I'll be back once I'm done typing. So now we are done typing. I'll just come here. I want to align it to the center, so I'll click here and align it to the center. So I'll just bring it here. Yep. I'll click on Control. But I think it's too big, so let's reduce it before we make it 8. I think 8 is better. And here should be 8 too, and we are good to go. So I want to make sure that it's at the center, so I'll click my Control A and I'll click here. It has aligned to the center, so we'll click Control D to deselect. Then I'll use my Shift key to bring it up a bit. Yep. So the next thing we are going to do is to add the date of the birthday. Okay, so I'll just click on my rectangular tool, then I'll come here, I'll draw. I think this is okay. So I'm going to do this, but then it has a sharp edge. I don't want it to have a sharp edge, and at the same time I don't want it to look too curved. I just don't want it to have a sharp edge, so I think it's okay. So do you know the reason why it's showing this way? Because it's under this particular image, so I don't want it to be under, so I will just drag it up. I'll drag it up like this. You drag it up. Once you bring it up, you drag it here. Just keep watching. It's already up. So now we have it up here. So I want to change the color. I don't want it to just be this color, so I will just click here, and I think this color is selected. This is where I selected it from here. Just select any color here, you click on OK, and we are going to type the birthday. She was born
on Sunday. The birthday is, I'll just click on my text tool and let's type 9th January. So I want to use a different font, so I'll just come here, select, and the name of the font I'll be using this time around is Bibas New. Bibas New. This is the name. You can just download it on your laptop, install it. So I'm going to make it bigger. Let's say 12 is okay, and let's make it bold. Here should be 12 also. So now I want to change the color to white. I'll change the color to white, click on OK, then drag it here. So I want two of them to align together, so I'll hold my shift key, select the both, the text and the rectangle, then I'll come here, I'll click here also, so that they can align very well. So now I'm going to right click on this, and I will just come here, click on this, but this time around I'm going to reduce it. Let's reduce the depth. Let's reduce the size, and I think we are okay. So I'll give it a drop down shadow. I want to change the color of the drop down shadow, so this is perfect. Okay, you click on OK. So now we are done with our design. But whenever you are done making any design at all, just any design, there is one thing you should never forget to do, and that one thing is to look at your design. Ask yourself, what am I not doing right? What did I do wrong? So here I think we should make this more bold, so I'll just click here. Yep, so that people can actually read it. So that once people look at it, they can just read it. Okay, so I'll select this. So I still think every other thing is okay. The next thing now is that as we deleted that drink, that bottle that time, so I want to bring it in again. So what I'll do is to click here, and I'll go to anywhere it is. I save it. So this is that image. I'll bring it here, drag it to my Photoshop, but then I don't want it the second time on this image. Here you get, I don't want it to come here for the second time. So I don't want all these yaga things to be here for the second time. So because of that, what I'm going to do is to rasterize the layer. Then I'll come here, select these two again, this polygonal lasso tool, select this and select just around the bottom before I'll bring it this way, and select others, all of them, because we're going to delete them. I only want the bottle, you see, just because I want the bottle. So I will now click Control, no, I will delete, or just delete, it's gone. So I'll click Ctrl D to deselect. Then I can now carry my bottle and place it here. I think it's okay like this, to this side a bit. So like this now, it's very okay. So thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe. When you subscribe to my channel, it will give me the courage to know that that you guys are really following up, that I'm really doing well. So please subscribe. What is stopping you from subscribe? Okay, so subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can keep getting tutorials like this. So thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to share to your friends, to your family, to everyone. Thank you.